everybody. I hope you enjoyed the excellent presentation by our colleague, Patrick Heffer, who is now joining us for a Q&A round. So please throw in some good questions towards him that we can tackle in this session now. Okay, let me start first, Patrick, by welcoming you once again. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing this excellent presentation. Very insightful, and giving some direction to the GCC industry on the opportunities that exist here. You showcased to us a number of different techniques in terms of farming that are developing in this region and focus areas that the startups are looking at. If you were to choose one amongst those as the one that could be the most efficient and most productive for the region, which one would you point your finger at?
I say there is not a single best technology, because there is a variety of cropping systems and farming systems, and each of them have their own advantages and let's say disadvantages. For instance, in terms of capital investment, take let's say vertical farming. It's quite capital intensive. While if you use biostimulants, for instance, you just purchase a product, and so that's a really relatively low cost option. But you don't achieve the same use efficiency. Biostimulants can work on any kind of crops, while vertical farming works typically for fruit and vegetables. You need really high value crops to make it profitable. And also, let's say, practices such as, let's say, reduced tillage I referred to at the very beginning can be applied as well to all kind of rain-fed areas. And that's, again, that's a relatively medium capital investment option, but that works very well, let's say, under all, especially rain-fed conditions.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Once again, for the audience, if you are interested in asking some questions to Patrick, please do use the Q&A tab in the session, and you will be able to do so. They will come up on our screen, and we will be able to ask that question first to Patrick. Patrick, let's now look at the role of the agri-nutrients industry in the GCC in supporting many of these new techniques that are coming up. What are the key research areas in particular that you think that this industry in the region should be looking at?
So I think personally, I'm convinced that fertigation is really a technology that should be widely adopted. Virtually all, let's say, irrigated cropland areas should be fertigated. So which means developing water-soluble fertilizers, which are, let's say, fertilizer products providing all the nutrients needed by crops. It's not only about, let's say, providing urea through drip irrigation systems. It's about providing all the nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, but also calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron. So all the really essential nutrients for the crops. And here I think there is a big potential. And again, these water-soluble fertilizers will be used in, let's say, under greenhouses, which has a great potential in the region, and vertical farming as well. You need highly low impurity water-soluble fertilizers under these systems. So I think also digital farming. We see more and more fertilizer companies developing their own digital farming platforms as well. And there is a huge opportunity here for some fertilizer company to engage in this, because that will help farmers to improve really nutrient management and achieve higher nutrient use efficiency and effectiveness levels that cannot be, let's say, achieved with conventional farming practices. And biostimulants as well could be, let's say, an area of diversification. We see more and more fertilizer companies investing in this field, either internally or by acquiring companies involved in biostimulants and supplementing their mineral fertilizer products with biostimulants, which offers a nice package because biostimulants will help improve the physiology of crops. And if you provide all the nutrients together with some biostimulants, that will enhance plant metabolism, you can achieve greater use efficiency and also stress tolerance.
Thank you, Patrick. Patrick, you also touched upon the 4R nutrient stewardship principles. A big challenge that exists around that is building awareness in within the farming community. Can you shed some thoughts and light on how this can be enhanced? And what role can you play?
Yes, that's a big challenge. In fact, the 4R principles, let's say, provide the framework for best management practices in the 4 areas of nutrient management. So we need to develop best practices in this field, but the main challenge is really reaching out to farmers and making sure that they adopt these best practices. And here I'm convinced that digital technologies can really help. First, to disseminate information, but also to provide the right decision-making support tools that will provide the right advice at the right time for farmers. So here I believe that traditional extension services have their own limit. More and more, let's say, fertilizer companies and also fertilizer retailers help farmers to make the right decisions, but digital tools will really make the difference, especially when it comes to smallholder farmers who don't receive, let's say, the advice, the proper advice, and very often not at the right time.
Good. Thank you once again, Patrick. My last question to you would be focused on the key topic of the moment with the recent IPCC report also, which came out on decarbonization. And are you at IFA running any programs or projects, any research right now on guiding the industry on improving their carbon efficiencies? What can we expect from IFA in the coming weeks and months?
In the next couple of months, we will release, let's say not we, but we partner with International Energy Agency on an ammonia technology roadmap that will help really the fertilizer industry to decarbonize its activity. And then with the, again, the International Energy Agency, they intend to develop such roadmaps in some countries. I know their first target country will be Egypt. So that will be really something very important. That will provide several pathways and what are the options to achieve zero carbon or low carbon ammonia production. At the same time, if we look at decarbonization, we have also to look at the consumption side. Globally, we estimate that the fertilizer industry, including production and consumption, account for 2.5% of greenhouse gas emissions globally, of which about 1% at production level and 1.5% at the consumption level. So there is a lot to do at the consumption level. That's why adopting the 4Rs is essential. We need as well to minimize nitrous oxide, N2O emissions. That's really critical given the global warming potential of N2O. So that's really something we have to look at. And the new dimension that is being also developed by some fertilizer companies is how to sequester carbon in agricultural soils. That's really a big challenge. And here we need to define what are the right measurements. There is a lot to do in this field and develop protocols that would be agreed by the wood industry and potentially other, let's say, agri-input suppliers. So I would say, and in that case, the GCC countries have, let's say, an opportunity, because if you look at soil organic carbon maps globally, the GCC has a very low carbon content, because that's sandy soils with low soil organic matter. But there is potential probably to build soil organic matter levels in GCC countries. And that could provide a way to, let's say, that could be a new source of income for farmers as well. And that could provide the incentive for them to adopt best management practices.
Excellent. It should not just be an environmental decision, but also an economic decision, which helps social growth. With that, I think we've come to the end of our time. Thank you so much, Patrick, once again for being with us, for sharing a keynote, and inshallah, we hope to see you soon. Until then, please stay safe and well, and our best regards to you and your loved ones.
Thank you very much, Judith. Thank you to Jetka for the invitation, and
pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, I will pass on the reins for today to my colleagues Iyad Rafai and Ahmad Al-Jawdar, who will be taking you through the technical sessions. And there's lots of great insight there, a lot of new innovations that you will really enjoy, we hope. So please do attend those sessions as well, and please do share with us your feedback. I will be with you back at the end of the conference. Until then, please enjoy the day. Thank you so much.